we need to add movement to the ball now, but in order to make that happen, we have to check how we can treat that. So we have 3 lines right now of our margin, and we don't want the ball to go beyond those margins. So I wanted to bounce on it. So right now we have 3 lines: the left line, the top line, and the right line. So those are created by the 4 points we saw in the previous video. And if there's an intersection between the ball and the left line, for instance, I want that to bounce to the right. In that way, if the ball is intersecting with the top line, I want that to bounce to the down, and so on. So in order to make that happen, we need to add some functions in our code. And I'm not gonna get into the details of that at the moment, because there are some mathematical functions and all of that. I have already the functions, and I'm just gonna explain that a little bit. So basically, we have a point segment distance. I just need to check the distance between the mesh of our ball and the point 1 and the point 2, because the line is created by 2 points. I'm just gonna need to check if the distance of my position it's bigger or less than the radius I have for the ball. So this other function will just check the distance between that to know if there's an intersection, but I'm just gonna define here the object I just want to check with the points they're gonna define the line and the radius, right? I know that my sphere is just a small ball and it has a 0.2 of the radius, so I'm gonna iterate all the points against the sphere position, and I'm gonna change if the distance it's equal or less of the radius between the 2 points of the line, it's an intersection. In order to make that happen, so I have now this example here. Okay, check sphere collision with line. So in the render loop below the paddle movement, I'm just gonna add some speed to the y position of the ball, so we can that move in the direction of the top line. If there is a top collision or top intersection, I'm gonna display in the console top collision true, right? What I want you to check here is that I'm passing the ball and I am passing the 2 points that creates the top line here. Those points are the same points that we defined here in the points before we created the lines, right? So are actually these 2 points. I can also use, this is item 1 and item 2. I can also use this here and this. It's the same, right? Because the sphere collision is accepting an array of 2 points, which defines the line I want. If I go to the code now, we can see the movement of the ball, and if I open the console, we can see we have top collision true. That means it's working, but I don't want that to be moved. Just move and just to display the collision in the console. I want that to bounce. How do we make the bouncing? Well, the bouncing is just changing the direction for the opposite direction we currently have. In order to make that happen, so I need to define other stuff. I'm going to create a new object in the ball here. paddle movement, yes, yeah, here below. I'm gonna create another object. Let ball movement equal is an object. It will have two properties. It will have the edge property for horizontal and B for vertical, and they will be set to 0 because that's the initial state. With that object, I can change the speed in the horizontal horizontal speed of the or the vertical speed of the ball I want. So how that would be, so if I just start the game, I want the ball to start moving. How can we do that? Well, I'm just gonna add this code here. We can change that later, but I'm just gonna add another piece of code. It will be cons random value. So I'm gonna add a random to check if I'm gonna move the ball to the left or to the right when the game just starts. Mat floor, mat dot random. This is a function that we have in the JavaScript native libraries, so you don't need to add those dependencies, those are already loaded. +1. With this we can get a random number between 0 and 100. If random value it's less or equal than 50, then we want the ball to move to the left. Else we want to set the value of the ball movement to the right. So I'm going to change the ball movement in the horizontal position or the horizontal speed. It will be to the left. I think it can be 0.03, and if not, then it will be the same but to the right. So that means we can add the same code but with the positive number. So again, I'm gonna get a random number between 1 and 100, and if S is less than 50, I'm gonna move the ball to the left, and if not, I'm gonna move the ball to the right. So, and I'm gonna start with a vertical position also, always, because we're gonna start moving the ball into the up position with the same speed. So I don't think those should be H speed or something like that. Well, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. That's for the understanding. Okay, with this I can move the ball for one direction. Okay, it's happening here. Oh, right. So I just changed the position of the ball movement, but I'm not adding those to the in our game loop. So here, the ball position for both axes now, so they will be moving for ball movement dot h for the x-axis, and I want that to be moved to the vertical. Even it's similar of what we did with the paddle, but now we are not moving just the ball to the left or to the right, but to the up and down. That's why we are using the X and Y positions here. If I save the code and I go here, we can see that now the ball is moving to a different position. See? it can be it will move the ball to the left or to the right. So we need to check the bouncing now. We need to make it bounce. So we need to add another here and another check-in. So I'm gonna add this one. So this will be the left collision with the line. So but I just need that to be between the first and 2 points. So this object or these items here, these points are creating the left line, like I show you in the image at the beginning of the video. But if I have a left collision or a right collision, right, so this will be 0.2 and 0.3. So the index 2 and the index 3 are creating the right line. If I have a collision on every side, I just want the ball movement to change, right? So this is the H is for the horizontal speed. So how do we change the direction to make the bouncing? I just need to multiply that for -1. So in order to make this happen, I'm just gonna call the ball movement, it's equal to the ball movement in the horizontal position by -1, right? That will change. It's saying here it's not a signal, right? It's the it's this here. So this will change the direction of the horizontal speed of the ball. We can also do ball movement dot h by -1. So that is the same as this. So but I'm just gonna keep it simple for now. With this code here, if we have a collision on the side, it will move, it will make the ball to bounce to the opposite direction. If it's in the left, it will bounce to the right, and if it's to the right, it will bounce to the left, and so on. So similar for that, now we can check the ball movement on the vertical speed. It's equal like this, but on the vertical in the y-axis. So with this we can make our ball bounce. If I go here, boom, 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 you see? And that works again. See, if I restart the game again, now our ball is bouncing to the walls or to the margin or the lines. That's why it's important to know, and if there's an intersection between the ball and the lines, to see how we can make that ball so we can change the direction, right? I'm gonna start another function of collision with the ball and the paddle just to bounce to the up. It's pretty similar, but now we are not checking intersection between the lines and the ball, but another mesh. I'm gonna start that in the next video.